Hey guys, and welcome to the build and chat today. All right, so if you weren't here Wednesday, I did a little bit of work on the bridges. I got the stone bridge finished, which was, I mean, the building was the hardest part of that. The rest of it was just a few layers of gray dry brush, and then a bit of flock to look like moss. The wood bridge, I decided to actually make a little bit more out of it. So I went and made this base, and we stuck the bridge pillars on here. And we're going to hold off on this for a bit because I want to finish this more. We're going to do some water. We're going to make this a bit wooded, forested. Maybe not trees, but at least some very thick bush. To kind of hide the path thing, because these are, we're gonna have the bridge going across here. There's got to be a path coming up somewhere, so we'll do some creative hiding. One of the things that we need to do on this then is to we need to finish. We've got just a nice dark phthalo blue base on the river here, so we want to get some lighter color in there. So what I've got is this desert turquoise, an Indian turquoise, and this pool blue, so they get progressively lighter shades of turquoise. So we're going to kind of work that in a little bit just as base for the water, because this is going to be a bit, I'm wanting to make kind of a rapids type, well, not rapids, but swift moving whitewater with some rocks and stuff. So we'll want to we don't need to do too much here, but I want to have some color in it. Let's see, what's going to be a good brush for this? Probably this is going to be the best thing. So we're going to water this down a bit. And this doesn't have to be real pretty, because we're going to put rocks over it and water over it and stuff, but we want to kind of get a little lighter on here and leave some dark, some of the dark blue showing through. So this is kind of just a light base coat type of thing. I'm going to kind of use a dry brush technique on it, and I'm going to just kind of move it with the flow of the water. But I'm being pretty heavy. I mean, it's watered down, so it's not really a dry brush because it's watered down paint. And it's pretty thick, but I don't want to completely cover everything. I want some of the dark blue showing through. So Alright, so that's looking more and more like water. But we're not done yet, so it's good. It's cool. Don't worry. I'm going to put some on the edge too, because I want the edges to look like they're part of the thing coming out. So we'll just get a little bit of color there. We just don't want it boring on the edge. I mean, I am going to put a dam on here, so it's going to be a hard stop on the water. Hey, Terrain Hardy, how you doing? Yeah, well, I'm glad you got to see it. I understand that it's the time difference is quite a challenge here, especially when I do a stream at dinner time here. It's going to be ridiculous o'clock where you are. So I get that, man. It's cool. But hey, I'm glad you stopped by. glad you're here to chat because I'm a little sleepy this morning. I haven't had enough coffee, and I forgot to bring coffee with me, and I'm just kind of, it's been a long week with, you know, all the year ends, end of the school year stuff with the kids and all that, and it's just been kind of hectic, so I'm tired and I need some good chat today. Could really use some help staying awake. So we're going to get a little bit lighter turquoise here. And get some, it's still watered down paint, so not truly a dry brush, but I want to make it a little thinner. So, because we're just trying to get a little bit of streaking in here to kind of help the illusion of water running, especially around where the jaggy bits are. And just pop a little on the edge here just to give it a little tone. Go get your coffee. Nah, it's good, man. I had some early this morning, but I don't know, I'm just kind of dragging today. I don't know what the deal is, but that's all right. I've got somebody here to chat with me, so it's cool. We'll have fun. You'll keep me awake, man. You'll keep me awake. So hey, that was cool. You showed up Tuesday to Nightheart's channel. That was a fun chat. I enjoyed that quite a bit, actually. I like having the chats. I know I got, oh, it's right here. What's wrong with me? All right, so we're just going to use a little tiny bit of this pool blue and just kind of get a last bit of highlight on the ground here. And this one I'm not going to water down because I'm really just going to kind of mostly dry brush this on, and I don't want very much color here. Yeah. Okay, well, I want a little bit of color. I don't want no color. Good grief. This may not be quite light enough, but that's all right. I don't know, that's already looking fairly waterish, and we haven't even gotten the rocks or any of that stuff down. I think I want to lighten this up a little bit. So let's get some white out here. And we'll go a bit lighter. I'm going to use this one. Okay. I really like doing lots of layers of dry brushing because it just makes things look so much deeper, I think. Ah, there we go. There's a bit of white water churning on the bottom there. I think I actually may go with just some white for a real final layer here. Just a touch of it though. I don't want much. Of course I need some. There. That might be good. That might have been a little much, but that's okay. It's all going to get mostly covered up anyway. We got some rocks to put in here and all that kind of cool stuff. So, but hey, I like, actually that's pretty good paint scheme for like icy stuff too. But all right, so anyway, so now we're going to put some rocks down there because we want some good rocks in the river to create some white water and some rough illusion of swift moving stuff. So I've just got a bunch of plaster rocks here from an old mold of Woodland Scenics. I think it's a Woodland Scenics mold. Probably one of those black molds, you know how it goes. Anyway, so we'll we'll just pick and choose some rocks here to throw down and see how it goes. So I don't want anything really huge, but I want them, some of them I want kind of sticking out, and I'm just going to hot glue them down because I don't need it to be hyper fancy. Is my hot glue gun? Yeah, okay, it's chugging. Cool. So we'll put one here because why not, right? It's good. It's all good. We'll put a little one here. Why? Because I like it there. That's just because of how I like it. I think I'm going to put one. Yeah, this is a good one. We'll put it like right here. I like that. Yeah, we don't want too big of rocks. That would look goofy. Plus, we want the illusion that they should be big rocks, but we want the illusion that this is a little farther down than it actually is. So we'll make them, you know, forced perspective type stuff. Because this isn't supposed to be a little creek. It's supposed to be kind of a fairly large raging river. But we don't want it to look goofy, and we don't want to go overboard. So, that's the beauty of plaster rocks. Now I have 2 rocks. Oh, that's kind of thick there. Maybe I won't split that one. Maybe I'll split this one again. Ooh, nice little bit. That was happy. Good grief. Okay, well, this one's just going on as is then. We'll go with that. I like it. Ow, hot glue. We'll make this one, we'll hide this little edge here, and we'll make this one sticking out of the side. How's that? Does that work? We'll make that one sticking out of the side there. See, starting to get some rocks going. And we'll get a little one, because we want some kind of clusters of rocks here for the water to flow around. I think that'll help make it look a little better. Should have brought my hammer in here because I love smashing up rocks. It's always fun. Let's see, what else can we do here? I don't like that one. It's got a kind of a goofy butt. Ooh, that's a nice little shape. I like that one just as it is. So we'll smack this down here. Oh. There we go. How are we doing so far? I mean, it looks kind of goofy with them being just white chunks of plaster sitting in there, but we're still working on it. Don't worry. Don't worry, chat. Don't worry. I got this. I got this, chat. It's going to be all good. So we're going to break up some more. Ooh, got a couple little chunks out of that. That's cool. I'm trying to get some smaller bits to kind of litter in here. Very deep and very lively. Well, good. I'm glad it's looking that way. That's kind of what I'm going after. So if you think so, then I'm happy. We'll see how it works with the water. I'm trying kind of something that I don't use on, that I haven't done before. So hopefully it doesn't screw it up, but you know what? If it does, it does. It's cool. So I've got this pouring medium. I've never tried to use, I've used it for little puddles and stuff, still water, but I've never tried to make moving water out of it. So I don't know how it's going to take to like ripples and stuff, but we'll see. We'll just see. Because it's not made exactly like the Woodland Scenics water effects stuff, but it's also not nearly as expensive. That Woodland Scenics water effects stuff is quite pricey, so I'm going to see if I can get away with this and see how it does. because it's basically a very thick paint medium, which is fine because it's clear acrylic and it's really thick, and it's worked well for ponds and stuff, but I have no idea how it's going to work for this kind of thing. Ow! Sticking your finger on the end of a hot glue gun is not fun. Let me get that right out of the way of the camera there so you can see. I think, oh, this will work. This is kind of hammerish, right? What's the chances of me smacking these into little bits? The problem is I used really good plaster here, so it's kind of hard to split. But I didn't make these just for this. These are just, I made a huge batch of plaster rocks. I've still got a drawer full of these things. I just, one day, you know, got my plaster out and made a huge batch of plaster rocks because I knew sooner or later I'd need them. So, little goofballs back there. So yeah, Jade isn't here. I mean, she's here, but she's not on stream today because she's kind of taking a break. They had their big play performance last night. Sorry about the banging, chat. I know that's a little loud, but I'll be done in a sec. In fact, I think I may be done. But they had, you know, big long week getting ready for their play and stuff, and they had their play last night, so they're all just kind of wiped. So they're taking a break. So she's just kind of maxing and relaxing, doing some different stuff today. I sure wish I'd quit putting the end of this thing on my finger. That hurts. I mean, it's my own fault. Oh, the water stuff. It is this Liquitex pouring medium. So it's made for pouring paint, which is really thick. But it's just a clear acrylic. I mean, it comes out kind of white, but it dries clear. So it's just a clear acrylic. And it's pretty thick, so it'll kind of settle. And it's worked really well, like I said, for puddles and small ponds and stuff and static water. I mean, it's great for that. I don't know how it's going to do here, but, you know, hey, we'll find out. If it's horrible, we'll just do something to fix it. I'm sure it won't be that bad, though. I mean, how bad can you do with clear acrylic, right? All right, we're getting here. This is starting to look a little better, I think, with all the... I like this busy rock area, so this is going to be pretty rapidsy. Because there's big stacks of rocks here and lots of places for the water to move around. How do I want this? I think I kind of want it in there. It's a small piece. I know I'm going to stick the end of this hot glue gun on my finger. I did. Ow. Owie. There. Now get rid of the spider webs. And let's see if there needs to be... What do we think, chat? We think that's pretty good. We ready to... Man, I'll lift this up a little. We ready to kind of call that and paint some rocks? Oh, you know the Liquitex pouring medium? Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be good for this. I don't know if it can achieve the kind of the whitewater effect and the movement, because it tends to settle pretty flat, but maybe if we give it a little time to dry a bit, we can kind of move it around and give it some motion, but we'll see. Experiment, have fun, you know, right? Whatever. Okay, so I'm done with the rocks for now. Well, these. I'm probably going to put some on the land too, but I'm kind of trying to fix the water area first so we can get it finished before I do all the other stuff. So we need some paint. We don't want white rocks. We want us some gray rocks. So we're going to get us some gray paint and go to town. This is the part I like. I don't know why, but I love painting rocks. I don't know what it is about rocks that I like so much, but I really like painting rocks. All right. Maybe it's because it's so easy to dry brush them to get them to look like rocks. I don't know. I just really like rocks. Maybe I'm weird. Well, I know I'm weird, but I didn't know I was weird for that. Who knows? It's okay. I like being weird. Call me rock guy. I'm the rock dude. It's cool. All right, chat. Let's see what we can do with these and see if I can keep from getting a bunch of gray all over the nice blue that I put down. I think I can. The good news is these rocks aren't really sunk in there, so I've got a bit of breathing room on the bottom. Yeah, rocks are fun to paint. Probably because they're just so easy. I can make something look really cool, and it doesn't take very much actual talent to do it. And it's quick to do, so I don't know, maybe that's why. Very little effort to get it going. Oh yeah, having the rocks gray already makes that look a lot better than just a bunch of white blobs sitting in the river. Once we get a couple of dry brush coats on these, they'll look really good, I think. So how much fun is this watching me paint rocks? Is this the best Saturday ever? Might be relaxing. Might be more relaxing if I'd shut up, huh? But I won't. It's my one. Usually my wife does most of the talking, so this is my chance. This is my chance to actually talk because nobody can stop me. Nobody can stop me from talking here. You can't, even you chat, you can't stop me from talking. I'm just going to blather on like an idiot for the next couple of hours. And, I mean, you could change the channel, but if you want to watch, you have to listen to me be an idiot. My wife's laughing at me now because she thinks I'm an idiot. We got 3 little doggies here today that we're babysitting. Two brothers and then another one. And we got 2 chihuahuas, 2 chihuahuas. One where you can use the bridge, one where you can jump from stone to stone. Oh, true. That's cool. I didn't even think about that. Hey, happy accidents. All right, Hardy. Don't tell anybody because we're just going to say we planned it that way, all right? That was the plan all along. I'll even give you credit for it, man. I'll say, hey, Terrain Hardy had this awesome idea to make this a 2-in-1 river, and so we did that. After conferring with Terrain Hardy for hours and hours to get his idea down and really understand and dig into it, we made it happen. Uh-oh, I've gone quiet because I'm having to kind of concentrate to not get gray all over the bottom. Apparently I can't paint and talk at the same time. Oh. Still got some spider webs hanging around here. Hot glue. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. All right. Yeah, that's looking like, okay, if you don't look at that part, that looks a little more rivery. Yep, I think this will be good. This will be good. Hardy, you're doing an awesome job, man. Thanks for being here to support me. And so I have somebody to talk to, so I'm not just talking to nobody like an idiot like I do a lot of streams. It's okay, I talk to myself all the time. They say only crazy people talk to themselves. I think they're not wrong, especially in my case. But it's cool. Everybody needs a little crazy. Otherwise, you get a lot of boring. Now I'm just going to start randomly humming things. What else has been going on lately? So we had the girls had their play last night. They did Beauty and the Beast. It was really good. They went kind of all out. For a homeschool group, it was amazing to see that. They got all these cool costumes and had, I don't know, like 40 kids involved in the play or something. It was ridiculous.
Over 70.
Oh, over 70 kids involved in the play. Holy mackerel.
You have to count the stagehand.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a choreographer.
And I mean, it's a homeschool group, so you wouldn't think there'd be that many kids, but there are. It was huge. But they did a really good job.
I did grab a couple of snapshots, but very few.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I could try to get that up on the
Yeah, put those on the Facebook.
Just so I could see even like the costumes and stuff.
Yeah. Because they did a really good job with it. So it was kind of a fun night out watching that.
Yeah, I wish I'd taken more photos.
Yeah. Just as long as you don't argue with yourself. Well, you know what? I kind of do that sometimes too. It's okay. It's, you know, a little bit of crazy. A lot of crazy? A whole lot of crazy. I'm fine with it. You should hear me being when I'm programming stuff. Sometimes I'll argue with myself. I can hear that. I would. Okay, we got to do this thing. This is the best way? No, this is the best. No, you can't do that because if you do that, then this will happen. Well, but if you know, and I would just go on for hours just arguing with myself because there's nobody else there, and got to bounce ideas off of somebody, right? Then I'd realize I was arguing with myself, and I'd laugh like crazy. Not like a crazy hysterical laugh, but.
And then you'd laugh like the Joker.
Yeah. I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. All right, almost done with the first layer of grayness. This one's going to take the longest because I'm having to be kind of careful at the edges. The dry brushing won't have to deal with much of that, so because it's mostly going to stay towards the top. So that's good. It's good, it's good, it's good. One more. Oh no, I got some gray on the bottom. The whole piece is ruined. What are we gonna do? Just throw it away and start over, right? Okay, man. I'll still be here when you get back. We just don't want to leave any white hanging out. Well, I mean, that wouldn't be so bad. We are going to try to get some white water in here, so. Good grief, ice machine. Hello, ice. Alright. So we're going to paint over a bit because this plaster does suck up paint, and so some of it kind of disappears into whiteness. But here we go. This is looking, oops, missed a bit. It's better. Get this all covered up. Man, I just missed a lot of bits. Sorry for the angle, guys. I'm kind of having to look at this at different angles to make sure I got all the white covered, because that's a little too stark for this. I don't want just big blobs of white hanging out here. That'd just be crazy. Can't have that. Can't have that. All right, so there we go. We got some rocks in there. That's a pretty busy river. I'm liking that. So now we're gonna do some fun rock dry brushing. Woohoo! But not with this brush. That's too big for dry brushing these little old things. So, what do I want to use? Probably this one. Yeah, I like this one. This will work. Now, where's my lighter grays? Okay, that's just, I don't know, they're two different grays, but they look pretty much the same to me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, but we'll just use one of them because we'll just mix it with some white a couple of times and get it lighter. It'll be good. It'll be good. Don't worry, chat. I've done this before. This isn't the hard part. All right. So here we go with some dry brushing. Hopefully the stuff will dry before I get to, oh, dang it. Missed another part. Hold on. I just saw it. Where'd it go? Oh. Every time I move my hand over, it gets shadow and I couldn't see it. That's why I missed it. There. So the good news is this stuff dries pretty fast, so we can just go right into the dry brushing here without too much hassle, because the first dry brush layer is a bit thick anyway. So it doesn't matter if the underlying paint is a little bit wet, because it'll just kind of mix in. It's cool. It's all right, guys. All right, so we're going with this light gray. Nope, not that one. This one, it's just flat out gray. Or Apple Barrel calls it country gray. I guess they're pretty much the same, just different manufacturers. So, I'm just going to get kind of a heavy dry brush here on the top. I don't know what you call this one. It's not really a dry brush. It's more like an overbrush, maybe, kind of thing. I mean, it's dry paint. It's, you know, not getting all of it. It's not like a base coat, but it's pretty heavy, so it's not, I wouldn't really call it a dry brush. Man, I got Beauty and the Beast songs stuck in my head now after last night. So I'm just quickly going over all the rocks here with this lighter gray color, and then we'll go back and do it again with even lighter gray color and less paint, and we'll just keep doing that for, well, ever. No, we'll probably do like maybe 3 dry brush layers, this and 2 more lighter ones, just to give it some real depth, because we're trying to make this look bigger than it is and further away, so we need to get it some extra depth. So that's what we'll do. Right, chat? Ooh, everybody quiet. Mama Noob's come in the room. Don't tell her our secrets. Painting rocks. What an awesome Saturday. Just get to sit around and paint rocks. All right, chat. Talk to me here. You got to keep me awake. Keep me going, chat. I'm just talking to myself like a crazy person. You know how that goes. Or am I the only one? Am I the only one? I must be the only one. Well, this is starting to take shape. Getting decent. All right. So let's lighten this gray up a little bit and go for put way too much paint in here, but whatever, you know. Just roll with it, right? That's really light. Maybe a little too light. Oh, that was too much paint. Again. I'm gonna fill this whole cup up with paint. I only need a little bit. Oh well. It's cool. It's good, chat. Not a problem. Don't worry about it. I got this. All right. A little much paint was on there, I think, but you know what? We just make it work. It's cool. Some more paint off. So I may just do this as the last dry brush color here, because honestly the next color down is going to be white and I don't think it needs that. Okay, so there's some good looking rocks in the river, I think. So now the moment of truth. Let's see what happens with the pouring medium. See if this works out the way I hope it will. So just got this Liquitex pouring medium. It's the medium for pour paint, so it's pretty thick. Oh, before I do that, I almost screwed this all up. I need to make some dams at the end here. So I've just got some cereal cardboard because we don't want this pour paint running out everywhere. So I am just going to hot glue this to the end so that we can take it off later. We just want to, oh, that's hot. Hot, hot, hot. Dummy. It's a little off there. Oh. Move that up a bit. Come on, gun. You can do it. Oh, come on. It's going to take a minute to dry. Hopefully it'll stick. It's not sticking. Alright, so got to give it a little more of a bend here because it's pulling against the glue. It's not working too good. Yeah. Let's see if we can clean this up a little without making a huge mess. Probably gonna pull all this off. I'll just have to paint it black again when I'm done. It's cool. It's all right. Don't worry about it, chat. It's all good. All right, so we're just gonna throw a little hot glue on there. See if we can make this dam. Hopefully this will stick. Ow. All right, so not to my cutting board, thanks. So we're just gonna hold this on here for a second, let it all dry good. This is so when we pour the pouring medium in here, it doesn't just run all out the end. We can actually get a little bit of depth here with it. It doesn't take much because the pouring medium is pretty thick, so it doesn't run too much, but it will run. So, all right, so then we just need one on this end. Ow. Okay. There we go. Make sure we don't have any spider webs hanging out in there. Okay. So now we've got a nice little dam to pour in here. Now what I don't know is I don't know how long it takes this pouring medium to dry really, especially if it's going to be this thick, but my guess is it's going to be a little while, so I'm not sure how much we're going to be able to do on this piece, but I'll probably do some of the bushes and things and junk and stuff. So actually I could probably do the bridge, start working on the bridge, because I just need to get this in place and then I can do the bridge. So, okay, well, here it goes. So we're just going to kind of spread this out a bit. It will eventually find its own level. Kind of like, what am I thinking of? When you make molds, you know what I'm trying to say. And this is almost, I mean, it's kind of almost as thick as white, like PVA glue. It's a little more fluid than that, but it's pretty thick stuff. So I'm just trying to get in between the rocks here to make sure that we've filled it up. And then we get it all covered, because this isn't exactly level here. I mean the bottom. And normally if I'm pouring like pools and puddles and stuff, I'm going to worry about bubbles, but here I'm not, because I'm actually going to make this a bit rough. Of course, I don't really want huge bubbles in it. That one's a little big. All right, so, all right, chat. We won't really know how this turns out for a while, but I think it's going to be pretty good, honestly, because that'll dry clear. And we're going to, once it sets a bit, we're going to start doing some things to it to kind of rough it up. So I think what I'm going to do is start working on some bushes and stuff in here. Yeah, I'm excited to see it too, man. Like I said, I haven't done this with moving water. I've just done small puddles and stuff with it, but we will find out. I mean, worst case, it's some water, and it's not the exact, maybe it's not the exact effect I was going for, but it'll still look good, I think. Yeah, it's not quite ready to keep shapes yet. It's going to take a little bit, I think. All right, so next thing we're going to do, so I'm going to start making some bouchées. So what I've got here is I've just got some old dried up grape stems, because I don't really want to make trees on this, but I would like to make some large bushes. So I'm going to use this massive knot of grape stem as like the framework for some bushes. The benefit of this is A, you get a lot of branches already on it, and B, you have a woody texture for woody bushes. So it's just baked right in. You don't have to do a lot of painting and shaping and stuff. It's just, I mean, see, put a little flock on that, looks like a bush. Big problem with this is pulling all these things apart. It's a tangled mess. And they do break really easily. I mean, if you put any pressure on them, so you have to use them a little bit sparingly, but you know, if you're eating grapes anyway, it's a nice cheap bit of terrain. See, I mean, how much does that look like a tree? Pretty cool. And I mean, that looks like a tree. The only weird part, I mean, I just use these as they are, except they've got these little nubbins on the end where the grapes were, so that looks a little weird. But if you're going for like a weird, not earthly type of tree, those would probably work pretty good. Those could just be a weird alien tree. So let's find a couple of good bush shaped and sized, like this one. Could be. Yeah, that'll work pretty well. Let me go ahead and get this glued on here before I get too much stuff in the way. Plus I need to know where it is so I don't put stuff over where it needs to go. Just a little white glue on the ends here. Get it on there. So one of the reasons I wanted to make this a whole diorama instead of just the pillars with the thing is because this is pretty flimsy. So if it was just this with these pillars, this would get broken in a heartbeat. Now we're going to put more stuff on this, but it's not going to be very structural. So this is never going to be terribly strong. I mean, it's strong enough. Put minis and stuff on it. And I may put glue another one of these things under there just to give it a little extra stability. In fact, I probably will. But for now, no. So yeah, we've got a branch floating in our river now. I'm not going to try to dig that out. That'd be a mess. But it's cool. Branch floating in the river. There you go. All right, so let's see what we can do with some kind of finey type bushy things. Let's see here. Something like that. Sure, why not? We'll go with that. I'm just using these kind of as vines to get a little bit of structure under here that I can then go back and put some flock on. And you know, the stems look pretty good as vines too, the long bits here. So something like that. And see, this is a good small one. Put some stuff over there. Oh, that fits perfectly. I'm gonna let these dry real good too before, I mean, we got a good bit to do, but I'm gonna let them dry real good before I start messing with it. So now we're back to oh, that's weird font on my display. I can't read that. A little bridge. The font overlapped for some reason. That's weird. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, you can still jump over here. See, there's a nice little rock path right here to get through all the way across. Where did I drop that? That was the good little piece I was after. What did I do with it? There it is. Maybe that wasn't the good little piece I was after. So, oh, that's kind of nice there. I like that there. So I seriously doubt this is going to get flocked today because I want these stems really dry before I start messing with the flocking. Otherwise, they're kind of hard to corral. And I'll start knocking them off and stuff. So I'm just going to let them dry real good. But that's okay. We got plenty of other stuff to do today. I didn't expect this to be all done today. It's fine. Let's see. So let's get some on this side. These are actually working really well. The curves are just sitting right on there. It's like they were made for this. It's amazing. I don't want to do, let's see. Let's do this. We'll break some things up here because I'm getting down to large grape stems, and I don't really want all large grape stems. I don't want anything too big on here because it'll get broken. Oh, don't drop all off of there. Come on now. Here we go, here we go, here we go. You just glue right down there, guys. Let's see, I could get be a nice little thing. So the grape stems, they look great, but they're pretty brittle, so you have to kind of be careful what you do with them. They can't take, like, you can't make a full-size tree out of them because they'll just snap. And that's no good. You don't want that. More glue there. Okay. So most of this is going to get kind of covered, dotted with flocks, so I am just wanting some structure to put some flock on so it's not all flat. Let's see. So yeah. I'll just lay a bunch of these things around because this is going to be very bushy, so we just want a lot of sticks and bush and stuff around here because it's going to be like a heavily forested area, like a granite forested mountain with a river running through it that somebody has built a extremely dangerous bridge across. Because, I mean, why wouldn't you have just a dangerous bridge? Why would you make it safe, right? That would just be no fun at all. That's kind of a cool little piece. I also like these because when you knot them up like this and then put some foliage over them, it looks very viney underneath. And that's kind of cool. Just kind of helps bring more interest to clump foliage, because clump foliage can be kind of boring if you got lots of it. Ooh, see, like this little curlicue here, that's a cool thing to have. I mean, that looks really foresty, viney type stuff. I don't like it there. See, we could put it, oh, put it there, that'd be good. All right. So how's everybody in Chatland doing today? Any exciting things going on today? Did we have exciting Saturdays? Are we going to have exciting Saturdays? Depending on what time zone you're in. Jeez. It's really on there. No, I don't like that too much. I like this one, but I need to take some ends off of it. Like I need. The other thing is the center stem, the viney bit, very fibrous, so it's kind of hard to pull bits off of it. It doesn't, I mean, it'll snap, but then you got to get the rest off, and so that's a little tough. See, we can have some stuff growing under there. I'm also going to put some rocks on the surface too, so we'll be getting to all that stuff. So we're going to get the surface all covered up. It's not going to look nearly as flat when we're done with it. All right. Need, I think, one more good piece here, and then we'll start doing some rocks. Is this a good piece? This might be a good piece. See if we do it like this. You get out of there. Not much to glue that to, though. Not entirely sure I like that. Something different. Need something different. What are you all about? Let go. Oh, that one's kind of cool. I like that. All right, we'll go with that. Grabbing hold of my fingers. All right, there we go. Now, let me put the grapes away, and we'll get to throwing some rocks down here. Rocks are a good way to cover up some flat stuff really quick. And plus, this is supposed to be kind of mountainous, granite mountainous terrain, so you'd have a bunch of big granite rocks hanging around everywhere. I'm thinking. I'm dinner with my 2 daughters. Ah, good. So we get to hang out, and then you get to hang out with your daughters. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad I get to be part of your day, man. All right, let's see. Let's go for a big rock first. Yeah, let's just get a nice big rock in there. These I'm just going to use white glue on because I'm going to let them all dry real good anyway. So we'll just white glue these because that's less of a mess than the hot glue. All right, so that one's going to go there. Don't worry, it's going to look like big white clumps of stuff, but when we get done, it's going to look really good, chat. Don't you worry. Don't you worry about a thing.
That's it.
Don't you worry about a thing, chat. I got this. I got this. We got this under control. You and me, chat. We're doing good. We're going to build this, and it's going to be the best bridge diorama ever on my table. Best one that has ever been made by me. Can't speak to other people's talent, but me, this will be the best one I've ever done. Promise. I'm just going to keep throwing rocks down until I feel like I'm finished. Right? That's how you build terrain. You just throw stuff at it and until you feel like you're done throwing stuff at it, right? So once these are all dry, I mean, the rocks are just going to get the same paint treatment that the ones in the river got. Uh-oh. We are leaking over here. Leaky leak. This one's holding up okay, but this side has got a leak. Oh well, what are you going to do? We'll fix it after. It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Chad. I got this. I got this. It's cool. Don't panic. All right. So I think that's enough litter on this thing for the moment. So we are going to need to let things dry. So, how do you feel about some mini painting, chat? You want me to paint some minis? Because I've got some minis I need to get painted. How do you feel about that while we let this dry? Real good. Oh, boy. Yeah, see, it got a leak. I didn't glue enough of this down, and it's kind of leaking out the bottom. But that's all right. I think it's just about done with the leaks. So, we'll just set it on the paper towel and set it all over here to dry and just let it go. And it's probably going to be next time before we get back to that. But I think next time is going to be mostly painting and flocking. And then that thing should be, well, I got to do a little bit of structure on the bridge, but we'll see if we can spend enough time painting minis today. I may be able to do some work on texturing the water here, because I want to try to put some ripples and stuff in it, you know, with using the straw to blow on the water thing. So for minis, I'm guessing you guys will probably want me to zoom in just a little bit, huh? So I painted, so this is going to be Diane's character. She's an elf Wizzy. This is going to be her character in the new one, in our new campaign coming up. So that's her. I just whipped that one out yesterday. And then I had a marsh troll sitting around that I hadn't painted yet, so popped him off as well. I kind of like that. I like doing that fading stuff. That's fun. So now I'm working on a lizard man, a Reaper Bones lizard man that I had. Try to get him done. I've got some more stuff coming Monday. So I'm getting a bunch of things done for our new campaign. Trying to get some more figures fleshed out. And then I've got a bunch of kobolds over here that got 6 of them that I got to do. And then I've got this tiefling. This is a metal one. The rest of them are bones, Reaper Bones. This is a Reaper metal. So she's been primed, but little tiefling crusader paladin type thing that I need to paint. Get that done, and then I'll have some more on Monday to do. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. So I think, where's my mini paints? There they are. So what do you guys think about painting some minis for a little while? Is that cool? Or do you want me to do other terrain stuff? I don't have anything yet, but we can make something up if you want. So you want to do minis or do you want to do terrain stuff?
I want minis.
You want minis. All right, let me see about, give me a second, Chad. I'm going to see if I can zoom this camera in a little bit so that you have a bit easier time seeing what I'm doing. Which ends up way on my monitor over there. Hold on. I'll get there. I have to, where's my mouse? Can't see it. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. My camera configuration screen, I can't get it to show up on this secondary monitor. It keeps showing up over there. I don't know why, but kind of goofy. Anyway, let's get some zoom on. Come on, camera. All right, chat. How are we doing here? Is that good? Can you see what I'm doing? That's right. That's right. Live longer that way. Happy wife, happy life. So is that a good view, chat? Let me know if you can't see something. We'll adjust, but I'm thinking this is probably good. Might be, let me move some stuff. I don't know if it's gonna focus on this or if it's trying to focus behind. I don't know. Can you see that okay, chat? Is it all right? If I get some of this junk out of the background, maybe that'll be easier. Just have some nice blinding sunshine from the window in your eyes instead. Is that better? Man, I've got a lot to clean up because we got the kids are doing D&D this afternoon after about 2 hours after we're done streaming, so boy, got to change over all this stuff, get set up for the D&D, move the cameras around. That's always fun. How's that, chat? Is that a little easier to see now? To tell what's going on without all that junk in the background? Can't see details. All right. Is it because it's fuzzy? Well, you know what? You're kind of seeing like I'm seeing because my eyes are getting old and I can't see details either. What I discovered, I hadn't painted minis for like a year. And so, you know, I used to paint with them right here so I could see things. And what I've discovered is I really need bifocals because if I get any closer than this, it goes all blurry. But this far away, I can't really see the detail to paint it. So I'm having to kind of guess a lot of it. So that's an interesting thing. So yeah, that's kind of what it looks like if I get it close enough to see the detail on it to my eye, my old eyes. Oh, this getting old thing sucks. Anyway, we'll just do the best we can, right, chat? All right, so we want some yellow for the belly scales here. And we're going to want some browns for the leather and stuff. And we're going to want, what else are we going to want? Wow, why'd that get so blotchy? The paint's kind of separated there. All right, so I'm going to want some more of that green, scaly green color. Where did I put that? Which color did I use? Green gray? No, I don't think so. I think it was... Where is it? It's one of these. I know it's one of these because this is the box I was using. I don't think it was that one. I think it was... Did I already get it out? Oh, maybe it was that one. It was that one. Okay. It's all right, chat. I'm okay. I'm okay. All right. So let me get my palette out here. So this is my palette. It's just a $1 ceramic tile from Lowe's. And I just use that because why not? I also use cheap brushes. I've never invested in any like red sable brushes or anything like that because honestly I'm not doing competitions and I'm just doing this at home and I don't need to spend $14 on one brush, and these are good enough. They're just, you know, good old gold Taklon cheap brushes. Get a whole pack of them and they do just fine. Just fine until you drop them on the ground. Excuse my head, chat. All right. So Where's my number 0? There she be. Alright, so let's get a little paint on this thing. The good thing is these Vallejo paints, I'm just using, most of my paints are the Vallejo model color that I use for minis. I've got a few others from, yeah, I've got a few Reaper colors and a couple of like P3s, stuff like that, but mostly model color. And it's nice because the model color isn't terribly thick. Like Citadel paints are really thick, I find. So I don't have to water down the Vallejo model colors very much, and they work pretty good for the bones stuff because you don't really prime the bones. They're kind of ready for paint. So so I find these paints actually work pretty good. I'm just going back and doing a little touch up where I missed a few spots on this green. Yeah. So what exciting things are happening, chat? You got any holidays coming up or any cool stuff like that?
Mother's Day is tomorrow.
Yes, Mother's Day is tomorrow. We're gonna go have lunch with my mother-in-law, and then Mrs. Terrainoob is gonna get to do whatever she wants tomorrow. Although she hasn't told me yet what she wants to do. I mean, we're already going out to eat. That's one of her favorite things. Sleep?
I'm just kidding.
We can do that.
It's been a long week.
I'm sure. Yeah, she was actually helping a lot with the play, doing a lot of the music and stuff, so she's pretty worn too.
As Virginia said, she watched me. She was enjoying watching me doing this. Trying to get the kids to dance.
Oh, what should we talk about, chat? What should we talk about? Boy, I wish this would focus better. It's not focusing very good.
Like, you were stuck with dogs for 2 days by yourself.
I was stuck with dogs.
You stepped up.
I had to be the dog babysitter.
Did my job for 2 days.
It's because you were busy helping the kids.
Yeah, but that's what I'm just saying. We were gone the entire day on Thursday, and then we were gone the entire day on Friday. Because when we do the play, we do rehearsal, a full day rehearsal on the day we perform, and a regular rehearsal the day before that. I think it was like a 3-hour rehearsal the day before, and then from 11 till we performed at 5:30.
Wow, that's a big day.
So what? A 3 hour, then a 6 hour? Yeah, it was a lot.
Yep.
And we had to eat outside, and it's Florida. And it's not, but we were in the covered, the cover.
Yeah.
The driveway was covered, but we all had to go outside and eat, so we couldn't have food in the church. So it was just tiring.
I can imagine. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, question time. All right, cool.
So here's a question.
Yeah. Oh, so you're thinking about doing some streaming stuff. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So I'm just using all my cameras. I've got 4 Logitech C920s. They're just webcams. Here, I'll show you one. There's one. I've just got those on different things, like this is on a just a table stand. I've got one mounted up there for overhead shots, and I've got a gooseneck stand over here that we use for wide shots, and then I've got one, you've seen it, the one we use for Jade when she's here, her thing, it's just a scissor arm that comes out. I've got it mounted on the windowsill there. It just comes out and we stretch it across. But they're all just Logitech C920s. If I were buying them now, I'd probably buy C922s because they're a little bit better. But that's all the cameras we use. And then I've got, you can probably see the mic. I've just got a Blue Yeti mic that we use for all the sound stuff because they're pretty cheap, but they're really, really good. I've had that mic for 3 years or something like that. It's great. I mean, they're not really cheap, but compared to other quality microphones, I think those are the best bang for your buck. And then the PC, you need, if you're going to record while you stream. What's up, Game Master Vault? How you doing? Yeah, so a C922 is perfect. That's, I mean, they're basically the same thing I'm using, just like a year later model. So, and I think they've got a couple of more capabilities, but it was the C920s were the earliest model that you could actually get multiple of the same camera running on the same machine. The ones before that had problems where you couldn't really do that, or it was extremely difficult and not always reliable. So C922 should be fine. If you ever wanted to go multi-camera with that, you could just plug another one in and it should work. The computer, if you're going to record while I use OBS, the Open Broadcast software, to actually do the streaming. It's always good to get paid to watch people on Twitch. That's awesome. I wish I could do that. But yeah, if you're gonna record and stream with OBS, you're gonna want a reasonably decent graphics card. So that's the one thing you want to be careful of. All them Bones 4 minis, yeah, I wish I had gotten in on that action. Man, I ordered some more Bones minis. I got them coming Monday, but for our campaign coming up, but I didn't get on the what you call it? I can't even think of the word now. The Kickstarter. Sorry, my brain just, I haven't had enough coffee at this point. Jeez. Anyway, computer. So what I found was with the OBS I was getting because we do video games too. So if you're just doing camera streaming, like 1 or 2 cameras, it doesn't need to be quite as good of a graphics card. I was just doing it on a laptop, like an i5 laptop with the built-in graphics card. But when you start streaming video games or anything heavy graphics like that, then you start having issues with the game streaming. Even if, like, we had the machine that had OBS on it was dedicated to streaming. And we would pipe stuff over with NDI over the network, and it's all wired network, which is something else. You don't want to try to run this over wireless. You want your streaming machine pretty much plugged straight, hardwired into your router, so you get maximum throughput on it. But But yeah, it's you don't need a tremendous amount. And if you're just going to stream and not record it at the same time, because we actually record so we can upload to YouTube later. But you do get the VODs on Twitch. I mean, they'll record your stuff and store it for like, what is it, like 40, 60 days or something until you're a affiliate or a partner or whatever. But anyway, we're not there yet, so I don't know. But it's you don't have to record, but that takes more CPU and graphic processing if you're going to record your streams while you're streaming them. So just something to be aware of. And as far as throughput, we've got what you're really concerned about is the upload speed. Download speed doesn't really make a whole lot of difference in this case. So it's the upload speed you're worried about, and that's we've only got about 20 megs up, so it's not crazy good, but it's pretty good. And that's, and we're pushing 720p. You don't have to stream 720, but you probably would want to if you can, at least. I can't push 1080 through this pipe with any kind of reasonable consistency. I mean, I can, but then it scales it down for Twitch. So, it's just one of those things you gotta. And we had to do a lot of experimenting to get this all figured out and working well, because most people don't use. Sorry, guys, I'm not paying attention to where the fig is. Most people don't use multiple cameras on their Twitch streams, but we do for a lot of our setups. So that took a lot of experimenting and playing around and trying to figure out what stuff to use.
I'm going to interrupt you for a second.
What? What are those Japanese Kit Kats?
These apparently are crackers. So, Beast, the young man you were asking me about.
Yeah.
They went to Japan. He actually was on jet lag, by the way, in case you don't know that either.
Oh, really?
He had come back on Wednesday. Let's see. Well, probably early Thursday morning or so. I don't know. They came in like on Wednesday, but when I was talking to her, I said, "Do you think it'll be worse tomorrow?" Because how they felt on Thursday, and she said, "I think we're gonna feel worse tomorrow." But he was So they had to go to his dad. Does a lot of musical stuff, and he sings in, I think, like a barbershop quartet thing. I think he was performing in Japan. And anyway, so when kids, at the end of the year, you get like 1,000 gifts. All the kids end up like giving you a thank you gift.
Yeah.
And he just was passing out these Japanese treats or whatever. But yeah, this one's a Kit Kat, but he said these are crackers. So I'm going to eat them right now because I want to. And I'm just telling you before I did. Because I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. Well, let me know how they taste. Does
Well,
the Japanese Kit Kat taste the same as an American Kit Kat?
And I can't read it. It's all in Japanese. And he said he thinks it's green tea.
Oh.
So it's a green tea one. I mean, they have all kinds of flavors, but this one he thinks is a green tea. And I don't know if it says it anywhere on here. There is some English. I mean, it says, "Good job. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat," with other Japanese writing. And it's Nestle is printed. But I don't see, they have no flavor written in English. Everything else that looks to be descriptive is written in Japanese, so I don't...
Weird.
But I think he's pretty sure it's a green tea. But the crackers, they have no English whatsoever on them. Which they said, his mom did say she didn't want to go. maybe just because it was so busy at the time. And she loved it, and she was just talking about the culture and how amazing it was. And
yeah.
Oh gosh, these don't look just like crack. This is not a cracker. Oh gosh, it's more like a biscuit. It's green.
Oh, that's weird. Let me see that.
It looks like it got broken, but it looks almost like a cookie. But it's like a.
So this is some kind of Japanese treat. I don't know what it is.
It's probably a green.
So it's
tree,
like a
green tree
biscuit
green
or a cookie or a cracker or something.
It looks like a chocolate. It has the consistency of a chocolate chip cookie out of a package.
Yeah, kind of.
But it's got something in it. There's something like chocolate in it.
Is it sweet? Terrain Hardy said they're usually really sweet.
I will say the smell is not my. I'm very picky.
There seems to be, every time I've tried something Japanese, it usually, or most of the time, it usually has some kind of green tea thing.
Yeah.
At least they're snacks and treats and stuff.
This definitely is green tea because it's very earthy.
Earthy? Yeah. Is it sweet?
The chocolate's got a bit of sweetness to it.
Not your thing, huh?
I have a hard time.
Let's
I
see.
can drink green tea like tea, but it's very. I've had mochi or how do you say it? Mochi. And green. I didn't like that. This tastes like grass. I'm serious. That tastes like grass.
Well, kind of. It's not bad, but it's
I don't.
It's a taste I'm not used to, so it's kind of weird.
Let's say I don't eat grass, but it tastes like what grass smells like.
Out there eating grass all the time, are you?
It's just earthy. Do you want to try? What are you doing? Do you want to taste it?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, thanks for the follow, Game Master. Appreciate it.
Is that the Kit Kat or the cracker?
This is like a. It's not a cracker. It's actually it's a cookie. Really. It's like a green tea chocolate chip cookie. That's what it tastes like.
An earthy taste, but I like it.
Yeah, you like everything. But leave it so that the girls can taste it if they want to.
Doesn't smell like anything.
They're not going to be apt to taste it, but I might convince them to. But I think the Kit Kat might be kind of cool.
Is that kind of what green tea tastes like?
Well, when I've had green tea, well, I mean, of course I have put sugar in it. It didn't taste quite so earthy to me. Because it's a tea. I mean, it's tea. I don't want to rip the package.
So, Terrain Hardy, did I answer your questions sufficiently? Are there any other questions you've got about this stuff that maybe I can help you with?
Wait a minute.
Also, Game Master, what part of the world are you in? I'd just like to know where my peeps are, where we're hanging out at in the world. Oh, it's a green Kit Kat. That's weird.
Here, hold it by the package.
Are you not gonna break it?
Green Kit Kats.
It's
I can't
so
say
good.
I've seen that before.
Well, you don't watch a lot of stuff.
No, I
watch
don't.
people do taste tests of different
Well, I
things.
mean, I watch a lot of stuff, but not that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Green tea?
Oh, it just smells. And you know how when you get tea, it even tastes like, it smells like tea. Like if you smell the tea bag.
Yeah.
You didn't break it.
Oh, sure, man.
Ooh. Nope. I think my problem is I just don't like green tea flavored things. I've tried them, but ugh. That for me
I'm
is
not the
harsh.
biggest fan of green tea either.
Took a giant.
It's
People
just
are
not my
sharing
thing.
it. Here, you want to taste it?
Not really.
She took a giant bite of it.
That's good.
Leave it out for the girls to taste. Yeah, it's really. I now know that it's not just one certain way of making it. I pretty much don't like green tea flavor.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the green tea stuff either. So, there's that. All right,
But I
so
like trying
let's
things.
see.
And I'm keeping my package because I think it's cool.
Keep your package.
On my face.
All right, so I need to get.
Did he lick your face? Because he might just lick. You have flour just going like this.
Yeah, those C922s. Those are. I had one of those at work. They're fantastic. I mean, the C920s I've never had a problem with, and every once in a while when I'm starting up I have a little connection issue, but it's usually just unplug the USB and plug it back in. Those are usually only when I'm the ones that I'm running with a USB extender, because I've got several 10-foot extenders on some of these USB runs, because I just can't get them all over the room without having some extenders, and that's just the way it is. But yeah, I haven't had really any problems with them. Yeah, and that's the thing. They're not terribly expensive. I wasn't, I was looking at like DSLRs and all that stuff, and realized that I don't have a big enough space that I need all that. I can just use a webcam. So why spend $400 on a good DSLR when I can get a good webcam for under $100 and it works just fine? So I got 4 of them, and they work just fine. The only thing I've discovered for that they aren't the best at yet is stuff like this, because the focus is, I mean, you can take it off autofocus, but this is as focused as it can get. This focus is all the way over. Yeah, so I don't, it could be that if I zoomed it out and got the camera closer, it would be better. In fact, we can try that. You guys want to try that and see how that works? See if that works better. Maybe it's just the focal length isn't quite good. And I'm not a camera expert, but hey, it's worth a shot. Let's see what happens. All right, give me a second here, chat. See if I can pull this off my other monitor way over there across the room. Stupid box. All right, so I'm gonna unzoom this thing. Let's see what we can do here. If I can get hold of this tiny little slider here. Come on, there you go. All right, so that's zoomed all the way out. And let's take the autofocus off so I can control that too. And now let's see what happens with the... See, I'm not sure if it can focus that close. Oh. See if I can figure out which way to move it from looking at it backwards 3 different ways. Oh, look at that. Oh, how's that? Does that look like a winner? Look at that, chat. So if you play around with them enough, these cameras can do some decent macro stuff. Okay, well, we'll stick with that for now. The camera's really close, so I'll try to keep this thing in frame, but just I'm not sure I can do it there. Let's see. Bear with me a sec, chat. Oh yeah, that's much better. Oh, I've got I have a table stand here, and I've got quite a few goosenecks that I can put on them. But I think this will work fine. I just gotta get a good sitting position for it, so that I can keep it there with for you guys while I'm painting it and not paying attention to what it's looking like in the camera. So, just holla at me if things go wonky or I'm not paying attention. It's cool. Let's see. Where's my brush? All right, so what am I on to now? Let's get these bags painted. Get some leather and stuff on here. Oh, geez. All right, hold on a minute. That's just going to make you guys sick, me moving that around while I'm shaking paint. I do appreciate the offer, though, Game Master. But yeah, I think it's just a matter of figuring out what's going to work. I've got plenty of equipment. I've got even some stuff that I haven't made use of yet, so I've got more equipment than I know what to do with. It's just knowing what to do with it, right? That's always the thing. See, I'm already screwing this up. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying, I promise. I promise. Yeah, bits for terrain, yes. My garage and my bedroom are just huge disaster areas. They look like trash mounds because all the terrain bits. It's getting a little ridiculous. I'm going to have to do something about it soon. I can't live like that. Just can't live like that. I'm trying to get a lot of my terrain stuff on some shelves out in my garage, so it'll be a little more organized. Plus, I used to do all my terrain work up in my bedroom. It'll set up there, but I don't do that anymore. I'm in my game room now, so for the streaming. So I've been trying to slowly move that stuff down here as I use it and get it into more convenient places down here, so I don't have to keep running upstairs to get my stuff for the stream, because it gets to be a little bit of a pain. How's this view working out, Chad? Are you good with this? Is this working okay? I mean, I don't know. It's kind of, well, like I said, my eyes are old and I'm blind, so I can't really tell. You have to tell me. Plus, I'm left-handed, so 14 3D printabilities. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't have the patience to do that many minis. In fact, I got this. I got a bunch of minis, maybe like 20 of them or so, when they started their last campaign. I've still got quite a few to paint. Oh yeah, well, I didn't expect to do one sitting, but even then, I have the patience to do maybe 20 or 30 minis, and then I take a break from mini painting for a while. When we paint, then you can once in a while show. Oh, that's a good idea. 5 to 10 minis a week. Yeah, that's probably doable. That sounds like a doable thing. See, I'm trying to get this so where I'm just holding it is focused enough. I got that a little too focused here. Let me back the focus out just a bit. Hold on. So because I can't get the camera quite that close to my hand while I'm painting. How's that? Is that pretty focused right there? Oh yeah, I'm not a competition painter. I figure if it looks good at 3 feet, good enough. I mean, so look here. This is kind of the best of what I've got. So there is no competition stuff there. But I figure at 3 feet looks pretty good, and I have fun doing, had fun doing this one, and that's what it's all about, right? But that's about as good as I get. But it's fine, because just doing it for fun, right? Because I like doing it. All right, where are we gonna go with this dude? I think that's pretty much all the base coating he needs. So we just need some detail, right? I think just some detail. Yeah, I mean, I've had people say, you ought to do the terrain stuff for a living, you ought to sell that stuff. And I'm like, I don't want it to be a job. I just want to have fun doing it. I don't want it to turn into a job grind. Then it's not fun anymore. I mean, it's fine if it's your thing and that's what you want to do. And I'm all for having fun with your job. But this, for me, really just needs to be my I'm relaxing thing. Yeah, well, and I want to use it. Yeah, the only stuff I build is the stuff we need to use. So I built one commission piece, and it was nice. I had fun doing it, but it's just not, I don't know. I just don't want to make it a job. All right, let's see here. Let's start doing a bit of highlighting. I don't need to go bananas on this thing. I just want to get a little bit of highlighting here and do the 3 foot good enoughs. So I'm going to mix. So this is the base color I use, this brown violet model color. And I'm going to mix that about 50-50 with this deep yellow to get some highlight color. Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few things that I've built that have never gone to the table. So, like the tavern, I mean, it may go to the table though, because we're going to start a campaign in Waterdeep. So we might get that to the table, but it's a big piece. So, I mean, it's a whole 3-story tavern. So it's quite the piece to get out. It's not something you're going to put out very much. And I still haven't finished the end caps of the roof quite. So I got a touch of work to do on it. Keeping an airship. Oh, cool. Do you stream? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, well, that life does get in the way. That's a thing, faux show. Especially when you're married, doing the family thing, and then, you know, having friends and all. I don't have any friends, so that's not a problem for me. But oh, cool. Yeah, I used to do YouTube a lot, but I just couldn't do I didn't have the time to do produced videos anymore, but the streaming has made this a lot easier. And it's not, you know, some people aren't a big fan of the stream format stuff, but I didn't have time to do the produced videos anymore, so it was this or nothing, really. That's kind of where Terrain Hardy was a subscriber of mine when I was on YouTube and followed me over here to Twitch. So he's been my buddy for a while. Well, he's got a face now. So GM stuff. So you GM mostly when you play? Do you prefer GMing or do you prefer being a player? Well, this is true. The terrain stuff is a little easier because I can just, if I run out of things to talk about, I can just sit here and paint, But yeah, I get it. I try to talk a lot. Sometimes I sound like a complete idiot, but that's fine. GMing 2 campaigns now, cool. I've GM'd before when I was younger, playing like 1st and 2nd edition. But I always liked being a player better. I don't know. Maybe I get into the acting. I'm not an actor, but I just like doing the pretending to be somebody I'm not for a little while when it doesn't count. Because I don't like to pretend to be somebody I'm not in real life, but it's kind of fun to do that for a game, So I've always preferred just being a player. Sorry guys, I'm kind of concentrating here and half talking and half concentrating, so I have to concentrate on my line highlights. I've never been one much for blending, probably because I'm not good at it. So I got into the habit of just doing line highlights on minis because that's just how I like to do it, and I think it looks pretty decent. Good enough anyway for the 3-foot view. So what kind of stuff are you GMing? Like 5e or some other system? Pathfinder. We did Pathfinder. I kind of like I know there's a huge, kind of a huge divide with the whole Pathfinder and D&D thing. And I liked Pathfinder for a long time. 90% of Paizo's books, yeah. Well, that's a good reason. But when we started playing the Pathfinder stuff with some friends a little while ago, and it was just way too many rules for us to keep track of. It was too deep for us. And I get that a lot of people like that depth, but we were trying to spend more time on the entertainment factor and the story, and the mechanics were kind of getting in the way for us. So we tried 5e and found out that it was a quite a bit simpler system. And it allowed us to spend more time on story and interacting and stuff rather than thinking about rules. Which I mean, a lot of that has to do with the DM too. The DM is doing a pretty good job of, just driving the story instead of worrying about the rules. So he's doing a good job with that too. We've got a good DM, but oh really? I wonder if they're kind of taking some cues from the 5e, because 5e really simplified over the 4 and the 3.5. They kind of went back to more of a roots type of thing. Yeah, we didn't either. I don't know. I like the 5e world settings a little better. I mean, that just personal taste. It's just I liked them better, and I think that the other people did too. Yeah, that's kind of how he is. We just ask him, hey, look, we want to try it, because we like to play really weird things anyway. Like we're gonna start a campaign, and I'm playing a gnome barbarian, which, I mean, why would you do a gnome barbarian is like really weird, but that's because I like to do off the wall things like that. It makes it more fun. So, you have to end up saying, hey, can I get a gnome-sized two-handed axe? That's not a thing in the rule set, but how can you be a crushing barbarian gnome without a good two-handed axe, right? So, but it's all about the storytelling for us and the fun. But it does help to have simple rules that you can still follow, so that it can streamline the process a little bit, especially when you're in combat and stuff. Because we use minis, it's not all theater of the mind. So it's nice to have some rules to keep things tight, but not so much that it gets in the way of telling the story, right? A two-headed hatchet. Yeah. I'm going to have so much fun with that character. A gnome barbarian with an attitude problem. It's going to be so fun. I'm going to drive people crazy. And I'm going to love every second of it. I think what I'm going to do that I've never done before is they like knowing where they are in relation to the baddies. Yeah, we tried that some theater of the mind stuff, but it's just helps us get into the story better when we can actually see what's going on in the combat. I mean, we're okay with the theater of the mind stuff for, the traveling around and the interactions and all that kind of stuff. But the theater of the mind stuff with combat didn't really work well for us. It was too loose, and we couldn't really. Because with the storytelling, you want the combat to keep rolling and not get bogged down. It's helpful to have visual aids so you can keep track of what's going on, and you don't have to keep asking, wait, where was he and where was he and where was this thing and what was happening over here and all that mess. It just seemed to slow combat down more than having the actual minis and the terrain on there. Plus, it kind of helps us, with the minis and terrain, kind of helps us get into the story and kind of immerse ourselves a bit, I guess. So I'm just going to add a little more of this yellow to my mix and lighten it up and do another highlight bit here. But yeah, I like doing the whole imagination pretend thing, but we do that more in like city interactions and stuff like that than we do with combat. We just could not get the combat working with theater of the mind very well. And maybe we're kind of dumb, which is entirely possible. Yeah, that's what we found is we kept losing track of what was actually going on in all the parts because we couldn't see all the parts. So we were kind of having to just concentrate on one part at a time, and then he'd have to repeat. Our GM would have to tell us again, well, okay, so this was going on in this corner and this was going on in this corner, and it just got to be a little much. Oh, sorry, lost the camera. Yeah, and the one thing, even with rules, combat encounters tend to get really grindy. So we try to, one of the things we decided to try to do was to put actual the GM kind of enforces some time limits on your decision making. You can't sit there and think forever. He gives you pretty much your 6 to 10 second window, and you better make a decision or he's going to decide what's happening. So it kind of helped push things along a lot too. And it kind of puts some real pressure on the players, you know, and then some interesting things can happen because you can't sit there and sit there and min-max all your actions. It forces you to kind of play your character and what they would do rather than trying to play your numbers. So that was one of the probably the best things we did. Is, I mean, he's not hyper strict with it, but if he senses that a encounter is getting bogged down, he will start saying, "Look, you gotta decide in 5, 4, 3, 2. Well, here's what happens," you know, that kind of thing. You just stood there looking like an idiot, so this guy came up and whacked you on the head, or, you know, something like that. So that really has helped quite a bit, especially with the kids campaign, because it gets them to kind of focus on, well, when we're doing combat, we better do it. True. I mean, like I said, we're not hyper with it, but it does, especially when you're like first, second, third level character and you're kind of getting to know, and you're a new player, you kind of get to know the mechanics in your character and all that stuff. But after a while, if things start getting bogged down, that really helps to kind of get the encounter moving again. And it doesn't have to be dangerous because the GM can always fudge numbers, you know. But it kind of puts the players on edge a little bit, which is really kind of the point. I mean, you're supposed to be kind of on edge, right? In an encounter like that. Oh, sure. Yeah, especially, you know, characters that have especially things like magic users, wizards and stuff like that have a lot of spells to think through and aren't necessarily right on top of it. But you can get to a point where, I mean, this was happening, players would start getting analysis paralysis and nothing would happen. Each player's turn would take like 2 or 3 minutes because they're sitting there trying to think through every min-max possibility, and then things would get boring. So we just started, you know, we decided, hey, it's okay for the GM to step in and say, all right, look, we're going to real time here. Time to know your characters. Well, true, yes, they have to know their characters. And we, you know, with the kids, we spent some time in the first 3 or 4, because they were new players too. It's the first time they'd really played D&D. We'd done a few sample skirmishes with them so they could get used to kind of what the rules were and stuff and how things flowed. And they're teenagers, so it didn't take them a long time to pick up. But you know, the first few times I'd sit down with them before their campaign started, because I wasn't involved in the actual campaign, and kind of go over their characters' abilities and stuff to review and say, okay, do you know how all your spells work? Do you know how your abilities work? How does this happen? What's your save DC? What's all, you know, all the stuff, so that they could learn it. And eventually they just got to know their characters, and they got to know how their characters would react in situations and what, and it kind of helped the character, kind of helped them to get to know their characters too. So yeah, it was helpful. And you know, even when even if you're an experienced player, when you're starting a new character, you kind of got to get to know the character. You don't really know much about that. I mean, it's just like acting. You got to kind of get in your character's head and get to know them. Oh, hey. I'm just sitting here whittling away, not even paying attention, but that's looking okay. Kind of liking that. Am I doing okay, chat? But yeah, I mean, for us, it's because we stream it, we're more concerned about having a fun story and having entertaining things and stuff like that. So we really try to get to know the characters, and we want to keep the rules out of the way. So thanks, man. So we it's good to have a DM that can fudge things and keep the story rolling. And it helps once you get to know your character too, and you can just say, okay, I'm going to do this. All right, so I want to do a little highlighting on the belly scales. I think that's the next thing. So I'm not even going to bother to wash this many, I don't think. I think I'm going to just take some, because I use this dark sand on the belly scales, so it's already pretty light, but I think I'm just going to 50-50 that with some white, and use that for some highlights here. Get this mixed up. It's not a huge amount of difference in color because it's so light to begin with. But let's see what happens. That's good enough, I think. Paint his toenails. Maybe I should paint them pink. And let's see, let's do a little highlight on his what do you call these, ridges? I don't know what those are. His neck scales. Okay. There. So, well, that's it for that. All right, so let's see. Let's go to, I do not like the color I used for that wrap on the spear here. So I think I'm actually going to go back to this dark sand color for that, I think. And that I may actually wash some of that stuff, that and the leather. I don't know, maybe I should wash it. No, I'm not going to wash the whole thing because he doesn't have really a scale pattern to dig into. So I'm not going to worry about a wash for most of this, but this bit I probably will. Let's see, we're going to have so this is going to be like a flint knife with a wrap around it. It's got two bits sticking out, which I've just painted over like a dummy. It's alright, I was going to have to do those again anyway. And then we need a little bit of wood sticking out the end where that's been wrapped. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So, a little bit of brown. Just a little bit of brown. It's cool. Just need half a dot of brown here. Try to make sure I'm keeping this in camera for you guys. I keep forgetting. What's amazing for shiny armor and weapons? Oh, chrome pins. Oh, no, I have not. I have not tried those. That does sound like it'd be a thing to do, though. I'll have to take a look at that. Fix this mess that I just made. It's better. There. Okay. So now what do we need? We need some work on this flint here. So let's get that. And Molotov. Liquid chrome. Yeah, I'll check those out. I'm sure I can find those on Amazon, right? Order one, give it a shot. I'm gonna need that in a minute, but yeah. Let's see, I'm looking for my grays. Where's my grays? No. I really ought to organize these sometime. There we go. That's what I needed. 1 millimeter. Yeah. For sure, we'll do that. Yeah, I'll have to give those a try. Hopefully I can remember past this. Uh-oh. How's our... Hold on. Might have to take a tiny break from the mini painting here so that we can get this straightened out, because this is starting to dry up, but I don't want it to get too dry before I... Alright, yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little work on that. It's cool. Don't worry, chat. Don't worry. Yeah. All that paint came off, but that's alright. That's alright. It's just the end. We're just going to slap some paint on the end of it, and it'll be cool. This is still dripping on the underneath, though. So basically what I've got now is I've got kind of a skin going on here, and I wanted to catch this before the top dried so that I could do a little bit of stuff, but we may be able to do this anyway. So what I want to do is I want to get a kind of stiff brush, and I want to, which way is this flowing? I want to kind of see, well, actually that skin's okay, because, let me see if we can get this where you can see it. See what I just did? When I pulled this, it kind of moved the skin a little bit, so it's kind of giving it a rough surface. That's actually kind of okay. It's still wet underneath, so it's kind of like pudding that's been sitting out for an hour or so. Gets that skin on it. But I'm just trying to give it a little bit of texture here and see how this stuff works. It's kind of an experiment with this stuff. So I think I waited a little long. I should have gotten to it a little sooner. Also, this may be a little deep of a pour for this stuff. This may not be. But we'll just see how it goes. Just gonna I'm kind of pushing some of it out to the bottom and letting it just kind of explode through. Hoping that that will end up looking okay. We're just gonna say it's gonna end up looking okay, right? Right, chat? It'll end good. It'll all end well. I'll see, because I want this to be nice and rough. So this probably isn't the best technique for this, but whatever, right? And I had a bit of a leak over here, so that's not the best. But it's okay, chat. It's okay. Yeah, I was trying to see what I could do without the water effects, because I don't actually have any right now. So I was just trying to see how this works out, this pouring medium. Because like I said earlier, it works great for like ponds and small pours and still water. I was just trying to see what I could do with it for rough water. Oh yeah, I'm sure it'll take a few days, but see, now I'm getting to the point where I can kind of push it around and it's stiff enough to hold some form a little bit. So I think that's actually going to work pretty good, because it's going to look like, I'm still getting some drips on the end, but it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, it's not completely holding the shapes, but it's holding some of it, and that's probably going to be good enough. And I may go back and do this again after a little while, because I've just kind of shot all the... I'm sure most of it will settle, but there was enough skin on the top that when I started kind of pushing it around and mixing it up, the skin is holding a little bit of form. So I think if I do this again, it'll probably have some form to it. At least that's what I'm hoping. If not, I can always get some water effects and come back and do it up. Yeah, gravity sucks. I can always get some water effects and come back and do this up. I didn't do really good with the dams on the end, so that's something I got to learn from. But hey, we'll just keep going. We'll keep learning. It's fine to learn. Oh gosh, I got a big old. That's all right. We'll cover up the ends with paint. All right, hold on a second. Let me get some paper towels up under this so I don't make a huge mess on my table here. And get this goop off my brush. It really kind of was kind of goopy. So, back to the minis and the talking and the fun chats. All the fun chats. I'm still kind of tired, chat, so I'm kind of losing. It's been a long week, so you got to help keep me awake. Bear with me while I move the camera back. There, how's that? We still good? Yeah, we're still good. Okay, so a long week already today. Yeah, I know. I know the feeling, man. So Let's see, we gotta highlight that a bit. Oh, I was working on the flint, that's right. All right, need my grays. All right, so we're gonna do, gotta fix where I've goofed up the base coat here. And then we'll see if we can do some highlights to make this look a little like flint instead of gray blob. Does that sound like a plan, chat? Game Master, where in the world? Did I already ask you this? Where are you in the world? Because I'm sitting here in Florida. Terrain Hardy's over in Netherlands, right? Yeah, Netherlands. Ooh, Minnesota. So it's still a little chilly up there, I guess. Not like cold, but maybe still some jacket weather going on. Oh, mid-50s. That is nice, actually. It rarely does that here in Florida. We get maybe a week of that in midwinter. Twin Cities, yeah. Well, oh, Denmark, that's right, not the Netherlands. I get those. Why do I get those confused? I always get Denmark and the Netherlands confused. Why is that? What is wrong with me? I'm actually usually pretty good at geography, but for some reason, those two always give me fits. I don't know. And it's funny because the only place I've ever been outside of the continental U.S., the only place I've ever been is Amsterdam. I was there for a week for a job. And those are the only two countries I really can't keep straight. For some reason. I don't know what it is. All right, so I'm using a little bit lighter gray here. We're going to see if we can highlight this into... highlight this into flint looking, maybe. Oh, do we now? That's cool. I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter. My wife actually does most of the Twitter and Facebook stuff for us because that's her jam. I don't actually do much on it. Ooh, I may have over highlighted that a bit. I'll come back and fix it later. Don't worry, Chad. Don't worry. It's all good. I'm not a big Twitter person. And I don't really get on Facebook much. I get on it some. You know, if people send me stuff, I'll get on and look at it, or if they tell me, if I know it's coming, or if I get notifications, but your interweb tubes get clogged. Now, I make a living on technology because I'm a programmer, but I don't really enjoy it very much. I much prefer stuff like this and chatting with people. I mean, I like this technology because I get to chat with people for realsies, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just old. But I'm not a big Facebook or Twitter person. My wife loves that stuff, but it's just not my jam. But that's cool, you know. All right, so oh. Come on, old back, stick with me here. All right, so let's do a little. What can we do? We need to do a bit of highlighting on the leather. So we'll do a bit of that. Bit of that there. Get some nice brown, some leather brown. And then I'm going to take some of this dark sand. Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, running your own business. I mean, I do some social media because I do my own business too, but I don't much care for it. My wife handles it for this. I mean, we do this too a lot. We do a lot of streaming. The whole family does it. So, and my wife handles most of the social media for this stuff. But yeah, I've had to do a lot of social media for work and things, but it's not something I like to spend my time on. I don't know. Maybe, again, probably because I'm old, but you know, whatever. I don't care. All right, let's see what we can. God, I can't see anything. I'm so broken. Hard when you're old and hate people. True. That is some truth, my friend. I actually like people. I mean, I'm a big introvert, but I'm not a shy introvert. I actually like interacting with people. I just can only do it for so long, and then I need a break. Know what I'm saying? Next couple of glasses you get as a service dog. Well, I guess there's that. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at that, but that was kind of a funny way to put it. But yeah, I'm gonna be going bifocals pretty soon because I can't see squat. I mean, I've had glasses all my life. I've never seen well, but I've never had problems with close vision until the past year or so. The age is starting to catch up with me. So I really am having kind of trouble seeing the details on this because I can't get it close enough to my face to see all the little bits. So I'm having to guess. That's okay. I think everybody in chat here right now knows this good and old thing sucks, from what I can tell. I think we're all in the same boat. Right, chat? Birth control goggles. That's funny. I like your wife, Game Master. She's a funny lady. Yeah, I think maybe some reading glasses would help me a bit. Just so I can get a little closer to, or just make things bigger so I can see them. I'm not sure if I could handle the jeweler goggles yet. But I certainly will try some reading glasses. Alright, so I need to get in there and get that, the hilt of that little dagger thing. So what do I want to do with that? I think I'll just go kind of dark. What do I want to do with that? I think I'm going to go black. Just go black. I'm not going to make this complicated. Let's get a little bit of black, and because you can't really see it much anyway. I just don't want it uncovered. And I mean, I want a little bit of detail in there, so we'll just go with black. And you guys can't see a thing I'm doing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, chat. Okay. Now let's see if I'm good enough to get a little eyeball in there. Probably not. I'm gonna end up screwing this up. That works. Doesn't need to be much. That'll work, right, chat? Does that work, chat? He didn't look cross-eyed, does he? This looks like a mean Lizzie man. All right, what else do I need to do, chat? Oh, I know what I need to do. Hold on. One last little thing here. Well, actually, two last little things here, but let's see. So I need this. I need my. We're gonna dry brush just a touch here. I'm gonna get some of this dark sand. Do I already have a wet spot of dark sand? Nope, it's all dry. I should probably invest in a wet palette one day, but I probably won't. All right, so I'm gonna just dry brush a little of this dark sand onto here because there is a bit of grain on it. See if I can bring that grain out a bit. It's probably a little much paint, but it's fine. It's fine, chat. Don't worry, nobody's judging this. This isn't a competition. I don't think it's a competition. We're not in a competition, right? Styrofoam plate, whip, paper towel. Yeah, and I've tried that before. I don't know. Maybe it's just my style of painting. I could not. I don't know. I just couldn't deal with it. Plus, I use extremely small amounts of paint anyway, so I don't really need to keep it wet for a long time. Or maybe I'm just lazy. I don't know. How does that look, chat? Did the grain come out pretty good? That's a little messy, but I don't know. All right, so let's get a little dry brush on the ground here, and we'll call this one done. How about that? How about that, chat? Does that work? Let's see. Let's use this color. I mean, I'll throw a bit of flock on this later, but I don't need to spend gobs of time on this puppy. There. All right. I think that's good enough for a lizard man for the game table, right? I mean, beats just a white clump of plastic, I suppose. You sure? I thought it was a puppy. Yeah. I'm happy with that. You happy with that, chat? Would that be good enough for your table, chat? I mean, certainly good enough for mine. All right. So now, what do we want to do? Do we want to smack on a tiefling, or start working these kobolds? Which one? Vote, chat. Vote now. Tiefling or kobolds? I mean, they're both going to get done eventually, but probably only work on one more set today. Because, gosh, what time is it? Oh, my lord. Actually, I'm not going to get very far. I'm probably only going to do like some base coats on these suckers. Because I have to eat lunch, and I also have to get set up for the D&D stream in a few hours, which means I got to clean up all this mess, which takes a while because it's a big mess. I make a big mess, and then I've got to switch around some cameras and some stands and stuff, which is going to take a little while. So I got to get all that set up before the stream. So they stream at 4 o'clock. Yeah, we moved them back to 4 o'clock. So they're streaming at 4 o'clock Eastern, their D&D campaign, and I got to get that all set up soon. So I think I'm just going to, you didn't vote, chat, so I'm just going to go with the tiefling here, and I'm going to start working just a bit of base coat. And then I may do a little bit of pushing around with the water there on the bridge diorama. And then I think I'll have to go after that because I've got a bunch to do. All right, so tiefling. Let's see. Do I want to make her skin like a charcoal gray kind of thing, or kind of a purplish color maybe? Let's see. Let me get some ideas here. Hold on just a second. Let me see what we got here. Come here, keyboard. I mean, I don't know. I could go with like a purplish gray, or I could go with like a charcoal, or maybe a reddish gray. Reddish gray is reddish is kind of a little bit boring, I think, though, because I don't know. One zoomed in on the playing area. Right, okay. Well, that's a good suggestion, Hardy. We are, if you'll bear with us for the remainder of this campaign, which is only probably going to be another 5 or 6 sessions, when we start the new one, I'm going to be changing some things around and trying some new things. So I'm hoping that'll work better. So I will certainly, I certainly want to get the play area in better shape, and I'll probably use that overhead camera for that some, because I can now actually run more cameras than I used to be able to, because I got a new stream computer with a much better graphics card, so I can actually run all 4 cameras at the same time, because I also have more USB buses for it. But 4 cams, GM, 3 players, and board. Yeah, well, okay. So At the moment, I'm out of money to invest in more equipment because I've already I just bought a new desktop machine because the laptop just wasn't cutting it for 4 cams. So probably what I'll do, I put up some new stuff like this scissor thing so we've got better wide shot cameras now. So we're going to have 3 people on one side of the table with a wide shot, 2 people on the other with a wide shot. A camera mounted on one of these table stand cameras at the end of the table for the GM shot, and then I've got the overhead cam that I'm going to try to make for the minis. So, but I also don't want to jam up the scene with too much stuff. So probably what I'll do is just multiple scenes where we can switch back and forth between, because there isn't always stuff going on in the play area, so I'll probably just have it so we can switch back and forth between some different scenes. So one will include the play area when things are going on, and the other one won't when it's just more theater of the mind stuff. Because there's no reason to look at a mini board when there's nothing going on there. It'd just be, taking up valuable screen real estate for no particular reason. So Critical Role, yeah, I like their layout. We're also going to try using the D&D Beyond. I've got all the characters set up on there. We use that to set them up, and so we're going to try to use that on our phones for our characters. Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff we can do with that. But I also want to use the D&D Beyond overlay for our streams so that people can kind of see the characters and look at the character sheets and all that. I've seen that a couple other places, and I really like how that works. So we're going to try that, just to try to give people more information and let them stay up to speed with who's playing what and what characters we've got and what the hit point status is and all that kind of stuff. Because there's some people that just really like that. Digging into the stats and things, and other people just want to hear the story. So I figure if we put them both up there, people can better get hold of what they really want, right? We see otherwise. We'll definitely be seeing you on Saturday. Yeah, Train Hardy, thanks for coming in and chatting, man. I really enjoyed it. Hope you have a great dinner and great night, and we will see you either Tuesday or Saturday or whenever the next time you're on. So anyway, thanks for stopping in, man. Yeah, live play shows are... I agree, there's a mix of audio and video. We're trying to do better. I think the audio's okay. We don't have enough for mics for each person, so it's not the best audio. But this mic does a pretty good job of keeping the room under control, and we've got some filters on the mic input, some compressors and stuff to kind of keep the background noise to a minimum and all that stuff. So yeah, it's fun to play and painful to watch. This is true. That's kind of how I feel about baseball. I love playing baseball and stuff, but watching it, I'd rather, watch paint dry. Obviously. But yeah, so I get that. So, and it is really important to kind of make sure that it's got good audio and video. Otherwise, people aren't going to want to watch it at all. So, and we're still experimenting with stuff. And really, the primary focus of this channel is, well, for me anyway, is this stuff, the minis and the terrain. I mean, that's kind of where I got my start. So this is what I concentrate on. But then, we've got the girls and my wife and stuff. They all do streams, video games, and D&D. And one of my daughters does art stream on Mondays and stuff like that. So we're still experimenting with cameras and things. See how they go. I don't know. I'm not. Let's see. Maybe I can go red if. So I've got this home game. Yeah, he does. Matt does a good job of that, and that's something we try to concentrate on that too. The GM is very conscious about not having dead time, or trying not to, because we actually are trying to entertain people. So it's not just about us playing. It's about making people want to watch. And if it's not entertaining and it's a bunch of dead air, nobody wants to watch. That's kind of why. Yeah, that's kind of why I sit here and talk to myself so much. I don't normally talk very much in real life, but if I'm going to be on here, you don't want to just see me staring at a mini, right? That's no fun. At least it wouldn't be for me. I wouldn't watch that. But I would watch somebody that's interacting and talking and stuff like that. So I'm going to get a bit of this Master Series Deep Red, which is more kind of almost a purple, and try and mix a little bit of gray into that and see how that does for a skin tone. Yeah, it is kind of a dried blood color almost. But I'm going to mix a little gray into that and see what that does for a skin tone for a tiefling. Just kind of interested to see how that comes out. So, we'll try it. If it's horrible, we'll undo it. Can always paint over things. I really do need to invest in at least one sable brush, a 0 sable brush, I think. Because the ends of these gold Taklon, yeah, those gold Taklon brushes, they're okay for most stuff, but if you get into real fine detail stuff, usually the ends of them are either curled or they've got a bristle sticking out too far or something, and it just gets a little wonky. So it'd be good to have a nice sable brush for those. Where did I just put that red? I'm blind. Man, I really am going blind. It's right there. What's wrong with me? And this is a bit dark, but I mean, this is the base color, so it will get highlighted on top of, but I'm just trying to get an idea for a base color. Plus the red primer, I think, is gonna help push some of this red through. It's kind of an interesting color. Let's see. Needs a little water. Better. Mo better. Okay, so now it's kind of like grayish dried blood color. Let's see what this looks like going on. It's almost, it's weird, but hey, it's a tiefling. Tieflings are weird, right? I think that's fun, having a little bit different color for the skin. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a good set of brushes. I mean, I bought these things the other day, and they're decent enough, but, you know, they're not red sable mini painting brushes that are $5 to $10 a brush. They're just, I think that whole pack of like 8 brushes was $5. So they're decent, but they're not great. So if I get them all mussed up, I just go out and buy another set. I don't feel bad if I screw up the brush. Oh, yeah. What's up, Bacon? We're just painting minis today. I was working on the wood bridge a little earlier, but right now, just painting a tiefling. Or trying to, anyway. No, this is just for funsies. I mean, this is just building up our collection of minis. My character, I've ordered it, should be here Monday, and I've actually got to do a little sculpting on that one because it's not quite what I wanted. Because, I mean, finding a gnome barbarian mini is a little bit challenging. I'm going to have to do a little bit of roll your own. And I've never sculpted on a mini before, so that should be interesting. That should be a fun stream. Let's see. Is there any more actual skin here? I don't think so. Nope. Pretty sure not. That is kind of a cool color, though. I kind of like that for her skin. Well, it looks like gloves to me, unless I'm just being blind, but it looks like she's got gloves on. Going for a monk? No, I changed my mind. I just wasn't feeling the monk, so I'm going to do a gnome barbarian. Because I thought that would be much more fun. If there is something on the legs, I can't see a break between, well, maybe, like right there, between the tunic and the boots. She's got like knee-high boots on, it looks like. Man, I'm really kind of digging that color. Huh. Actually looks kind of cool. It doesn't look like there's any midriff. It looks like it's armor all the way down. I suppose I could, I could just make it midriff, right? It's my flippin' mini. I'll do what I want with it. Nah, it doesn't look... No, it doesn't look midriffy. We're just going to make that armor all the way down. I like this color, but I want to use it sparingly, because otherwise it runs out of coolness. Let's see. Yeah, that's one thing I like about minis is you screw it up, just paint over it. Should I make the horns kind of the... I wonder if... I mean, not realistic, but I mean, how realistic is a tiefling anyway? But I just wonder if... I just like this color, so well, let's try it. Just wonder if the horns ought to be the same color, because, like, you know, it could be bone horns, but it could just be that there's horns that their flesh grows over the horns, so there is actually a skin on the horns, maybe, right? I mean, it could be that. You've seen those people that get the like the subdermal implant things, horns and stuff that grow under their skin. So I mean, it could be something like that. It's just how they grow. True. She's got one ear over here. I don't think there's one poking out of this side. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe I can see it better in the camera. Oh, I actually can see it better in the camera. That's helpful. Yeah, I don't think there's an ear. Is there? Well, you know what? That looked like an ear. If it wasn't, it is now. Yeah, I'll probably just make them... I don't know, I could make them black. That would be kind of fun. Anyway, that's enough for skin. It's a good color though. All right, so the let's see, what color do I want to do with the main color of the outfit here? I want something dark. I think. I'm thinking in the purplish bluish range, because since her skin's a bit purpley. That might look bad. So if we're not going that range, then we want to go over to the yellow side. Black with gold. Ooh. Ooh. I like that. We'll do that. Okay, black. I'm easy. Yeah, I like the whole gold accent thing, because that'll work well with the purplish skin. So I guess we're gonna go mostly black here. Yeah, I may use, well, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I like the idea of gold. Silver's a little, I've got a lot of silver on a lot of my minis. So I want to try something a little different. Plus, the yellow tones are going to go well with the purple on her skin. So I think that may be the choice here. That could be the play. I like that idea. Thanks, man. And hair, I may go kind of an auburn color with the hair. No, actually I may go like a white or a light gray. That could be fun. Oh. Man, oh man. Ooh, light brown hair with a gray-white stripe. That could also be fun. Let's see. What is this down here? It's a little hard to see some of this. This red primer does not do a good job of showing where all the bits and pieces are. I don't know if it's the way the light's hitting it or what, but I much prefer a gray or a white primer, honestly. Black primers don't do a good job because I know a lot of people like black primer, but it's kind of hard to see, at least for my old eyes, it's kind of hard to see all the little details. But gray primers do a really good job of doing that, and they don't make the colors too bright. So I usually will use a gray primer if I'm doing a darker figure, and a white primer if I want something a little brighter. I rarely will use a black or a red primer. But this is what I had at the moment, and so this is what I use, but I don't really like it. honestly. Don't really like it. No, it's actually car primer. I just use spray car primer. It works really well, and it's really cheap. In fact, I actually like it better than the made from any primers. I've used Vallejo primer. I've used Army Painter. I've used Citadel. But honestly, car primer, that's the stuff. Some sandable car primer. Nothing better than that. And it's like $1.50 for a whole can of it too, so it's doesn't break the bank. Yeah, man. I mean, the primer is really smooth as long as you shake it really well. So it goes on really smooth, really gets the details out, and it's super cheap. So I'd rather spend the money on good paint than that primer, because I've never been terribly impressed with the made for minis primers. I mean, it's not that they're bad, but why spend 8 times the money on them when you can get a spray primer that works even better? Honestly. This little intersection here is a little tough to see what's going on. I mean, there's glove, there's staff, there's elbow. There's a lot happening in there. Let's see. Come on, camera. Show me what you got, camera. What is that going on with the staff there? Is that like a... Oh, that's... Okay, so that's like a continuation of the head of the thing. That's not actually the wood part of the staff. It's just got a really long head overlay on it. Okay. I get it. I get it. Alright, where are we missing here? I think some of the front here needs to... There's a lot of bags and belts and stuff hanging there, but... Yeah, I think so. Like from here to here is the wood, and then the rest of this is metal. Looks like. Yep, that's what I'm seeing in the camera. I tell you what, this camera is really helping me out because it's much better view than my old eyes are getting. That makes things a lot easier. I may do this even when I'm not streaming, honestly. Yeah, I think that's all the actual black. Oh, maybe a little bit there. You know what? We'll just paint it black, and when we come back to do the bags and stuff, it'll be fine. Yeah, no kidding. I've got like a 60-inch TV in my living room. Maybe I'll just hook the computer up to that, and I won't even look at the menu while I'm painting. I'll just watch the TV and paint that way. Be a lot easier. Wouldn't make my eyes so tired. Jeez. Yeah, it really is. Makes things a lot easier when they're when they're life size. See, have I gotten all this? I'm not big on making female minis look like prostitutes. That doesn't seem like a thing that should be, but I mean, to each their own, I suppose. But I mean, if I was going to be in a party of adventurers with a female, I wouldn't want her walking around dressed like a prostitute. I'd want her to have some armor because I want her butt to live to save me. So, I mean, seems kind of stupid. In fact, I mean, cover us all from head to toe in steel for all I care, if it keeps us alive. We ain't venturing to the fashion show. Hey Ard, how are you doing? We're just painting minis today. How are things in Germany? All right, let's do some brown onto her. So, I don't typically watch a lot of people painting minis. I mean, I've watched some before. But is this satisfying for people to watch this? I mean, it's really satisfying to do it, for sure, but is it satisfying to watch? Huh. I don't know if this would be a thing I'd like to watch. Maybe it would, but it doesn't seem like it would be fun, but I guess it is. Soshi. I haven't seen Soshi. Not familiar with that. I'll have to check that out. I can't tell where the hair is. Hold on, I gotta look at the life-size model here. It's soothing until somebody like me starts running their mouth. Whatever. You'll never make me shut up. Never, ever. It's my one chance to talk. Did I get that? Huh. Kid number 2 birthday is tomorrow. Oh. Well, tell kid number 2 I said happy birthday. How old is kid number 2? Which birthday is this? Well, that's true. I like watching people do stuff that I haven't done before. That is always interesting. Especially when they're novice at things like I am, and they are sitting there learning how to do it and figuring things out. 10th. All right, that's awesome. That's because Jade is 11, so I know that's a fun age. That's about the time they really start getting interesting, because you can have kind of adult conversations with them and stuff. I mean, maybe that's just when I find them interesting, but... Alright, let's see about belts and bags here. Maybe you can get any color on that. Oy, I think my eyes are getting tired. So, do you guys have like a theme for his party? Is there gonna be like a thing he enjoys, like his favorite TV show or something that you're doing? Oh, it is. When did she do that? I didn't see it. Did I miss it? Did she post it to Facebook or did she stream it or something? I haven't talked to Prodigy for a while. She hadn't been on for a bit. Or you mean the one I've got? Like this one here? Because this one I got isn't quite finished. It's got some color, but she hadn't finished it. But I don't know. Did you see her sometime I didn't, and she finished it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought this was amazing. So this one of my viewers. Ah, I see. So you. Oh, that's right. You had to leave before she had it colored. So here, look. I'll give you a little bit better view. One of my viewers actually, she comes on quite often on the Saturday morning things, and she's from Australia, so it's a bit of a weird time difference. It's usually, it's like late at night or early in the morning when I'm streaming when she's on, but she's an artist, and she said a couple weeks ago, she said, hey, I'm not quite sure what to draw. I want to sit here and draw while you're streaming, and I don't know what to draw. I said, how about drawing me as a wizard? And 15 minutes later, I got back this pencil drawing. She sent me this pencil drawing. I was like, oh, wow, that was amazing. And then she started coloring it in, and she said she was going to finish it. And so, but she hadn't been on in a couple weeks, I think. Was it last week she did this or the week? No, it was the week before because we weren't on last week. Because that's right, because the girls had their band competition. So I was dumbfounded when she sent that to me after that little bit of time. So then I said, hey, do you think you'd be interested in drawing our little portraits for our D&D characters? Maybe, huh? She was like, yeah, I'll do that. Yay! So I'm all excited about seeing what she comes up with there. That'll be fun because we got 5 people plus the GM playing. So that ought to be a real fun thing to see. Plus, she, I didn't expect her to actually draw me, but I mean, it's actually me. I was just, I was amazed. I typically only stream this stuff Saturday mornings, but we stream the only days we're not streaming are Thursdays and Sundays. Otherwise, we're streaming usually about 7 o'clock we'll start. And then we also have some 1 o'clock streams. Drunk kindergartner. Yeah, I'm not much of a... I can't draw to save my life. I might be able to do a stick figure if I put a whole lot of effort into it, but drawing is not my thing. But she's amazing. She said, what should I draw? I said, draw me as a wizard. And I'm thinking, and then she said, hey, I've got something to show you. She sent it to the chat, my Facebook chat messenger. And I said, okay. So I was going to go check it out. And I'm thinking, this will be, probably a neat drawing, but I was not expecting what I saw. That blew me away. And I asked her later. We were talking back and forth in the messenger, and I said, "Why aren't you streaming this stuff? I mean, you're incredible. You should be streaming this. You should be getting jobs from this. Why aren't you streaming it?" She was like, "Well, I have a couple of times." I was like, "It should be all the time. That's amazing." She also does like 3D art, computer art, like graphic art and stuff, and 3D modeling. Not like real life. I mean, I think she does some of that too, but she showed me some of her stuff that she's done 3D modeling with, and that was amazing too. I mean, she's an extraordinarily talented artist. So I want to get her to do some more. Maybe somebody will see it on my channel and hire her to do something. I hope that would be really cool. Oh, like 3D printing? Yeah. I don't know that I have the chops to do that though. I've played around with Blender and 3D modeling and stuff, but I'm just not. If I can't actually touch it and play with it, I just don't do well with it for some reason. I don't know. Maybe the way my brain's wired or something. I don't know. Who knows? All right, so if we're going to do... Yeah, it's been a while since I played with it, but I just downloaded it on my new desktop because I finally got a much better graphics card on it, and so I wanted to try it, but I haven't had a chance to play with it yet. So, what time is it? Good grief. Oh my goodness, no wonder I'm starving. Listen, guys, I have to go eat some lunch, and then I have to get set up for this D&D thing because it's going to happen in a couple hours, and I've got like 3 hours worth of cleanup and reset to do in 2 hours. So much as I don't want to go, I really kind of have to. But thanks for coming and hanging out and chatting and being with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Next Saturday we'll continue on with the bridge diorama here, and see if we can get that going. Yeah, bumblebee cleaning, that's right. We'll see if we can kind of finish this thing up, and maybe get some good water effects on the water, but that needs to dry quite a bit. We'll get everything painted up and get the rest of this bridge done. So that'll be next Saturday. This afternoon we got the kids playing D&D, getting towards the end of that campaign, and then we're off tomorrow, but we'll be back Monday with some stuff, and then all next week. So hope you guys can join us sometime. Thanks for being here. Please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, all that stuff. Mash all the buttons, ding all the bells. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And until next time, build on.